Hello, guys. Welcome to the Vej Athletics Performance Pod. I'm going to try and do one version for performance, one version for health, one version for more aesthetic kind of fitness and training talk. So, today I'm going to talk to you guys about a 2-2-2-2 AMRAP rep scheme. I started using this rep scheme when I started training with fifth set. That's Swede Burns program. I'll put the link below. He's got fifth set program for powerlifting, and then he has fifth set evolutions with a bunch of different programs in there. So I'm not talking about his program entirely, fifth set as a program, but what I'm talking about is the main principle, the thing that's named over you do the fifth set, which is the AMRAP, and why that works so well for developing strength. For strength development, I think that format 2-2-2-2 and then AMRAP, so 4 sets of 2 and then as many reps as possible set, works really well. Works really well. So basically, the way that you break it down for fifth set, you start somewhere around 77.5. He's very specific. Around 77%, or if you're more experienced, you're allowed to start at 80%. So, for instance, a female who squats 200 pounds is gonna start at, man, I gotta get better at my math. 150 would be 75%. Then we go maybe, 10 pounds from there, 160. That's around 80%. That's 80%. So she would do 160, and she would do she would do doubles. She would do 2 reps a set, and she would do that for 4 sets. So what happens there is at that 80% level, that 77 to 80% level, you're starting with weight that is like fairly light. For most people, lifting 80% isn't a ton of work, but it is enough to get a training effect. You are working with a weight where you could probably do 3 sets of 10. But for developing strength, and it depends on the lift. For developing strength, you are getting enough feedback. You're getting enough intensity, and the weight is light enough, and the sets are short enough that you are performing reps to perfection. It is. I think it's pretty rare that people are going to do 80% for doubles. But when you're doing this program, you get 4 sets where you are putting in work where you have perfect form, perfect performance. You can look at it. You have plenty of opportunities to adjust if something goes wrong in a set. And then finally, you have that as many reps as possible set. It's a set that you'll find from workout to workout you really look forward to. Though I have had tough workouts where those working sets are tough, and I'll tell you guys about how those get heavier. And I'm thinking about that AMRAP set, like, oh my god. And you know what? More times than not, I get to that AMRAP set and I go balls to the wall, and I hit a PR. More times than not, I would say 75% of the time I'm hitting PRs. Though Swede Burns, the guy who kind of did this set, I'm sure he's not the first person to create this kind of rep scheme. But the guy who wrote that book, Fifth Set, he says it's not about hitting PRs. It's really about the working sets. So you do that. You do your AMRAP set. You do your working sets and your AMRAP sets, and then all you do is add 5 pounds every week. I am a more advanced lifter, and I was doing it for the squat. And as an equipped lifter, like I squat close to 700 pounds. So I was adding 10 pounds a month, just to let you guys know. I was working probably around 500 pounds, and I was adding 10 pounds a month, 10 pounds a week, sorry, up until the point where the last I can remember is I did 575 or 585 for like 7 or 8 reps. So you're starting really light, and you barely feel the progression. That's the thing. The progression is so slow and so subtle. You barely feel how heavy that weight is getting week to week. And before, to me, like 5 plates, 500 pounds is not much for me. It's not much. Well, before I knew it, I'm trying to rep out at 575, 585, 595. I think the last cycle I did, I stopped at 595. But that's a ton of quality volume that I'm getting. It's a ton of quality volume that I'm getting in short sets. So a great thing about this program, about this rep scheme, is it is very difficult to overtrain. It is very difficult to overtrain. So I started at just around 500 pounds and worked my way up to 600 pounds. That's 10 weeks where I was able to consistently make progress, consistently PR, and then finally stop at a point where I felt that I was overtraining, or that my body was starting to push back. But that's 10 weeks of progression for an advanced athlete. For an advanced athlete, I'm thinking that maybe this isn't the greatest for a beginner, but an intermediate level athlete, you're gonna make you can probably push that for 15 to 20 weeks. And when he does talk about it in the program, he says some people do it forever. They do a deload and then they come back and they do it forever. The other thing is the PRs are helpful. Again, Swede Burns mentions that it's not about PRs, and you'll hear a lot of people talking about it's not about PRing in the gym. For some of us, it is. For me, it is. I love the feeling of a PR. I love the feeling of pushing myself on that last set and going balls to the wall. It is, and you will get those. You will get those if you want. You can hold yourself back. There's programs that are like 5-3-1, where up to an extent you hold yourself back. If I can do, I'm probably not going to do more than 10 reps for an AMRAP set. If I can do 10 reps with a weight, then like I'm happy. I'm gonna shut it down there. If you are a stronger athlete, do be careful with those AMRAP sets, especially because you at a certain point at the end of a cycle you will be exhausted. So give yourself full rest, and then pushing through that AMRAP, you do of course have to be careful. Set up your rack appropriately, get a spotter if you need to, all of that. But at developing strength, whether you're a just a gym goer, or for my athletes, for some of my athletes, that depending on the movement, it might be a trap bar deadlift, might be, I probably wouldn't do it with a clean or a weight lift because those are a little bit more explosive than strength based. But could be a front squat. Same thing could be, we use box squats as well. This is a rep scheme that I would use with my athletes if I'm going to develop strength. I don't have any athletes right now that I'm gonna do a ton of 2 rep sets with. Maybe I have like 1 or 2 or 3. But once you've developed a relative amount of muscle mass, right? I have what, tennis players. You don't want to add too much muscle mass to a tennis player. I have swimmers. I would know on swimmers to get stronger, but I don't want to add a ton of muscle mass to my swimmers. So you have to be careful in that regard, and these low rep sets are a great way to develop that strength without having a lot of time under tension, without creating a ton of muscle damage and muscle growth. And then the just how fun it is, just how fun it is. That 2-2-2-2 AMRAP is so j'ai oublié le mot. It's so long. I speak so much French that I forget a lot of English. I'll tell you guys that. We are gonna do some pods in French, by the way. It's so long that after your first set, you get to reset, see where you are. Then you go to your second set, your third set. If the weight's heavy, you're probably getting exhausted, but you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I gotta do that third set. I gotta do that fourth set. I gotta mentally prepare for that AMRAP. So it's cool. It's like lifting weights is boring, and this kind of makes it a little bit more of a game. I almost felt like sometimes I'm working out and I feel like I'm in a basketball game. You know what I mean? The first set is the first quarter, second set is the second quarter, then you got your halftime. You know what I mean? And the AMRAP is overtime. So it is cool. It makes you feel like your workout is a little bit of a game, is a little bit of a battle. You have that mental battle with yourself. I do really love that about this this fifth set rep scheme. I need to stop saying 2-2-2-2-2 because that is rough on the mouth. And then you know what I don't know if I'm repeating myself here, but you have moderate load. You start with moderate load, and that allows for perfect technique, and that is a huge component of the program. So fifth set, if you are a power lifter or a strength athlete in general, I would look into buying Swede Burns books with fifth set evolutions, and you can get that on the Elite FTS website. You can get that on elitefts.com, and you can read a lot of his stuff and see how he came up with it. The guy, when he talks about powerlifting, he talks about it from a very scientific, very evidence-based perspective, which I love. But aside from that, I don't use a ton of other protocols from the program. He does have some other great protocols, but just that rep scheme. If you are in the gym and you're trying to develop strength, try that out. I find it better than something like 5-3-1. I know Jim Wendler does with the 5-3-1 for powerlifting and the 5-3-1 evolutions, which goes there's a ton of stuff. But when you look at the basic 5-3-1 breakdown, it's not enough volume. It's not enough volume. It's not enough reps. Even 5-3-1 for powerlifting, in my opinion, it's not enough volume and it's not enough reps. So this one, the volume of perfect reps that you can achieve in this program, and the opportunity to push yourself maximally is it's awesome. It's awesome. So try using that rep scheme to develop strength, and I will be coming at you guys with a lot more in terms of health. We're going to talk a lot about health and going plant based or eating vegan, and we're going to talk about aesthetics as well, how to get swole. Take care, guys. Vejathletics.ca or at Coach JG on Instagram or at I gotta find Linda's. I don't remember Linda's Instagram. At Linda Falcao Cordoso. I think. Peace.